The reason that Findeisen misled the government so brazenly, of course, was that his goal was to prompt the government to investigate and build cases against plaintiffs specifically, whom he had never even spoken to about the project, in order to further harm plaintiff and, he hoped, ultimately claim credit and raise his own profile in the event the investigations resulted in criminal charges or civil penalties against him.
Well, I'm already tell you that this is straight up BS because Coffee definitely tried to reach out to Logan on several occasions. Funny enough, couldn't get through to him. Why? Because Logan wants to act like a fucking Hollywood-ass nigga, you know, the ego and shit like that. Or possibly also because he knows he's in the fucking wrong. But to sidebar that, yeah, who Coffeezilla did get in touch with was Jeff, his manager. As y'all see from the other clip, he was talking to Jeff on the phone. Yeah, Logan, what type of bullshittery? Again, bruh. Like covering the shit or whatever for Coffeezilla did extremely well for him, embarrassing your dumbass. And again, it's not on no malicious tip. It's because, one, you're a scammer, and two, what do niggas need to embarrass you for? You do it yourself. 3 to that, brother, this is what you got. This is it? Saying that he was doing it for the clout? Bro, a nigga is like deadass exposing you for being a scammer. You stole millions of dollars, bro. And your response back is this nigga is doing it for clout. Well, Logan, I didn't expect anything else. Logan. It's been a while since we talked about you, buddy boy. The last time I had seen anything about this fool, he was with Aiden Ross saying how they might take a trip back to Japan. I ain't gonna lie, don't know the optics on that one, cause I know they don't want his ass back there. But you already know what it is. Yeah, apparently Logan is out here embarrassing himself once again. A casual. You already know. I like my cheese moldy, bruh. So yeah, of course, Trilly's here to talk everything. Yap about this, John, of course. So let's get right into it. You already know, shut up, my glorious slop king. More Pegasus. Still love posting the daily slops. We do indeed love to see it. Sloppy. Lovely. We got Logan Paul just got fucking destroyed. Obviously, if you want to watch the OG vid, down in the description, first link. Sure to love it, more Pegasus. You already know what it is. And let's see what Logan did this time. You gotta be kidding me.
Logan Paul is now being investigated by the FBI. Turns out he's been trying to
off to a grand start.
Pretend that he doesn't know what's going on. And his lawyer is coming up with possibly the worst arguments humanly possible and kind of tanking his case for him. Apparently, Coffeezilla is also
Is that the Grim Reaper? Nah, the Crypto Reaper. I ain't gonna lie, the Rug Pull Reaper. Coffeezilla.
With the government, and the SEC is thanking him for reporting these people. Now, quick recap for people who don't follow the story. A while back, Coffeezilla exposed Logan Paul for his crypto scams with a very popular YouTube series. And Logan Paul did the logical thing and, you know, instead of just paying back the victims from Cryptozoo, the people that he actually
made a bullshit response in which he embarrassed himself. And then, from there, went to go resend that response and thank Coffeezilla for his investigation. And then, after that, still try to sue Coffeezilla. Surely does indeed know his slops. But yeah, no, that whole situation is dumb. And obviously on Logan's part, you look like a dumbass. Pay the people their fucking money back.
Scammed, he decided to sue Coffeezilla for defamation, insisting that he is not a scammer. Okay, so since then, Logan Paul's scummy text messages also got leaked, basically showing that he was not suing Coffeezilla because he thought he was defamed, but actually because he's a self-proclaimed petty billionaire who just wanted to ruin his life.
Yeah, sounds about right for Logan.
Paul also admitted that he's suing him just to make his life difficult. And he says...
Yeah, we gotta remember, Logan is an asshole, so like, what... like, does this surprise anyone? Like, again, he has no substantiation within, obviously, like, saying that, oh, Coffeezilla's defaming him, slandering him. No, Coffeezilla's putting out the right info, which is, oh, Logan, you're a fucking scammer, bud. Like, what are we doing here? Come on.
Zilla will pay one way or another. I'll make sure of it. Bro, you're a billionaire. Paul responds with a petty billionaire.
I wonder how the jury is going to react to that one.
Paul says, I want people who wronged me to suffer while I continue getting wins on their...
I want people who wronged me to suffer. What about the people you wronged, dumbass? While I continue to get wins on their grave? What W's is this nigga getting besides the fucking prime shit, bro? The prime shit is what made you a billionaire, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't see niggas drinking it as often. Now, sidebar to that, the niggas drinking this shit mostly are jits, but I ain't gonna hold you to that. I don't give a fuck. That's tough, bro. Like, hold on. You know, boss love whipping this shit out. Niggas don't give a fuck about this joint, even though I have to give it to you, Logan. What the fuck flavor is this shit? Ice pop. This shit was good when niggas was drinking it, but not no more. Not no goddamn more, bro. Hell nah. Niggas ain't hear about that shit.
Their grave.
Ooh, no way Logan is using the word grave after the Japan forest incident. And that brings us to today. Logan Paul filed a motion of confidentiality trying to hide some sort of information that was very humiliating and embarrassing for him. But unfortunately for him, that information has actually come to light now. Shout out to YouTuber Legal Bites for this video, and let's just go over the whole story. Alrighty, subscribe or your kids have to eat lunchly for the rest of their lives.
Hell nah. Been subscribed though. Shout out more Pegasus.
And let's begin with this video of Logan panicking about worse evidence getting out.
This information, Paul says, should remain confidential because it's too harmful and embarrassing to Paul. So in other words, forget about those scummy texts that we just saw. If you thought those made him look bad, it sounds like Logan Paul is way more worried about this information. He might end up being the one responsible for making this evidence public in the first place.
Yeah, Logan Paul just doesn't understand the Streisand effect. You cannot silence people like this. You can't silence a story.
Yeah, that's dumb because obviously it's going to make it more apparent. More people are going to talk about how you're silencing people, which then overall the main thing you're trying to silence them on is going to obviously get more light brought to it. Dumbass.
Like this, and you can't try to hide this information because it's always going to come back to bite you.
Yep.
Especially when you are the one who tried to sue someone here. Obviously, all of your scummy bullshit is going to come out in discovery because that's just part of the legal process. And he kind of screwed himself the second he tried to file this motion for confidentiality.
And so we really wouldn't have known that there was anything in here that Paul was really afraid of getting out. That is, until Logan Paul filed his motion to preserve.
What are you hiding, Logan? What are you hiding? This shit is crazy.
Confidentiality designations.
So it turns out the thing that's worse than the scummy text messages is that he's being investigated by the FBI and the SEC. And you know you're kind of cooked when the three...
I'd imagine if the SEC is looking after you, then yeah, nah. It's definitely got to be with the Cryptozoo shit.
letter organizations are starting to investigate you.
Now we know that the evidence he desperately tried to keep secret was in fact a number of federal investigations by the SEC and FBI into the whole Cryptozoo team, including...
Okay, so confirm. Okay, yeah. So they were looking inside with the other bulls that were part of the Cryptozoo thing. Because I know there was that bull, Jake the Crypto King, and then that fucking, like, yo, actual con artist, scam artist, that nigga, what's his name? Eddie Ibanez. Yo, that motherfucker, he was saying he owned the Eagles or some shit. I was like, yeah, bro, these niggas get online, start saying anything, and niggas just slurp it up. Just slurp it up. I'm like, bro, we gonna need to see some evidence, some credentials on your ass. You don't own a sports team for shit.
Logan Paul.
You told me I couldn't say anything because Eddie was being investigated by the FBI and that was confidential information. It's all over the internet. I've been let on for a year, bro. I've also asked you to audit the contract for the game and see where the money went so many times, and that never happened either. Do you see how this looks?
I see how it looks.
What did you do?
Yeah, I think I see how it looks too. If you wouldn't, again, like I say all the time, better yet, stupid actually gets stupid consequences. So there, Logan, if you didn't want to get a stupid bag or a quick bag or whatever by scamming niggas with crypto, you wouldn't have been resulting in this shit. Like,
Tried to help to get the project done. That's all I did.
I think there's a piece of information being left out.
Yeah, I wonder who would leave out information here. This is hilarious. Logan having to pretend like he doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, guys, it's actually my team that did all the bad stuff. Everything that was remote.
oh yeah, he was trying to say like, yo, yeah, nah, like the blame shouldn't even majority go on me. It'll go on these people. Like I was saying, Jake the Crypto King, Eddie Ibanez, and all that junk. Because he was trying to say him and his manager Jeff or whatever, like they didn't take any bag from like the Cryptozoo Jones, so they didn't like pull out of the rug pull or whatever. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. The people invest in a coin goes up, it craters, and the reason it craters is because while everybody's investing into it, the niggas on the back end, they sweep up all the profits. Take all them boys. But yeah, now that was confirmed. They didn't take any cheese, but even to that, yo, Logan, just like Hawk Tua, you know, your brother, Jake, the nigga who's putting her ass on, yo, I'm not gonna hold you, man. Ain't you the face of the coin? Isn't your face all over this boy? Is this not your crypto coin? I think you're taking this blame to the chin. I think you are. Like, what are we talking about?
Scummy or illegal or anything that involved a scam was just my team, guys. Nothing to do with me. I mean, look at me. I'm good guy Logan. I'm scolding my team over here. That probably means I'm innocent, right? I'm being so mean to them. I'm confronting them on the phone. And I love how he tries to say that his like team is being investigated. Bro, you are also being investigated.
Exactly.
You are this project. Your name was on it. You were.
That's what I'm saying. Like, brother, he's the face. Like, even if you didn't take no money or some shit, people still got scammed out of their cheese because of a project which you are the main head leader of, or at least if you're not the nigga on the back end, you're not the nigga working within the blockchain, you're the figurehead, Logan. You're the face. No niggas are buying this shit without you promoting it. The fuck? And again, like we discussed, it's your project that you said on the pod when you were talking to the nigga Mike. What the fuck?
Promoting it. You definitely knew what was going on.
My bad. Let me clarify. It was your game. Fucking, I didn't even press the button. Game. Bro.
And it's just so pathetic that it's even come to this. Like, you couldn't just take accountability and pay back the Cryptozoo victims. You were bragging about making millions of dollars a day, and that's literally just how much you had to pay the Cryptozoo victims. I mean, let's not forget, this guy literally apologized and then did a complete 180. He decided that his ego was way too important, and he just didn't bother following through with any of his promises. Then we learned that Coffee's actually the one who whistleblew to the FBI and the SEC.
Okay. Well, there's no information that I'm not telling you.
But now we've learned that Logan Paul himself was and is currently being investigated for allegedly defrauding.
Let me see. The SEC subpoenas Paul for information regarding Cryptozoo and other crypto token scams Paul's been involved in, including Ding Doink. Like, yeah, more motherfuckers need to talk about that. Like, obviously the main crypto shit that Logan Paul is known for with the scam is Cryptozoo, but he was doing other shits like Dink Doink and the 99 picture shit or the 100 picture shit, whatever, where he like had that whole thing he was doing too. Like, yo, there's a bunch of crypto Jones he been doing. Or better yet, no, wrong direction. This nigga been doing. Like, this sound crazy, bro.
Defrauding Cryptozoo investors. And what's more, we now learned the identity of the whistleblower. Who else but Coffeezilla himself?
Bro, Coffee is actually such a legend for this. And this is kind of the reason you know that Coffee was genuine in his intentions when he was exposing Logan Paul.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, yo, Coffeezilla is what I, at least in my opinion, what I would consider a real journalist, baby. Hassan, if you ever claim you're a fucking journalist again, you know what? Niggas, please stop considering yourself a journalist and saying that shit. I'm getting tired of it. No, y'all. I'm a political commentator. I've clarified. You're not political shit. Whatever. Oh, actually, you are political. But your takes are shit. There we go.
Because he didn't just make a YouTube video about it trying to get some quick views. He actually reported him to the FBI and the SEC, and he was actually trying to get legitimate justice and not just some weird attempt at defaming him. So now we get a bit of the timeline here. Basically, Coffee wants to combine the case of Logan suing him and Cryptozoo investors suing Logan, because both of those cases hinge on the same facts, right? Whether or not Logan is actually a scammer. And essentially, Logan is just crying to the court like, this FBI investigation is not that important, and
I'm pretty sure if the FBI is coming and knock on your doorstep, it's very important.
Coffee is just trying to embarrass me in the public.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing a great job, Logan, embarrassing yourself, but I mean, yeah, he is embarrassing your ass because you're a fucking scammer.
First, there's Coffeezilla's motion to transfer, which is where he's asking the court to transfer this case from San Antonio to Austin so it can be litigated closer to the Cryptozoo class action case. Paul filed a motion to preserve confidentiality. That's the motion that told all of us that Logan Paul was...
Those materials have no relevance to the motion or defendant's arguments and instead were almost certainly filed for sole or improper purpose of providing, providing defendants with an excuse to advocate for their public disclosure in order to harm or embarrass plaintiff. Yeah, again, like I said, Logan does a mighty fine, fucking fantastic job embarrassing himself. I don't think we gotta waste time doing that.
Panicking over this evidence getting out. In it, Paul pointed all kinds of fingers at Coffeezilla, claiming that he included those sealed exhibits in his motion to transfer for no legitimate reason, and that he did it just to harm and embarrass Paul to the court.
Really? You think Coffee would risk his entire life and reputation just to embarrass Logan Paul?
Exactly, like that would be stupid on Coffeezilla's part, but again, like I'll keep stepping in, Coffee wouldn't even need to go after, like, you know what I'm saying, roasting a sticker or really trying to embarrass him, because Logan does the best job at doing it for himself.
I mean, if he just wanted to humiliate and embarrass him, he would just talk about this publicly. The fact that we had to literally find this information out through some weird legal documents and a lawyer YouTuber covering the story means that he wasn't trying to humiliate Logan at all. And frankly, I don't think Coffee needs to embarrass Logan at all. This guy's reputation is already in the gutter.
Exactly. Like, what more harm can you do to his rep? I ain't gonna lie. Like, again, most heads know the shit he did. Obviously, the Forest shit, then the Cryptozoo shit. He's known for, not even he's known for, well, he is known for it now, but like, he himself is an insufferable asshole. So, like, you know, there's that too. There's not really much to like about him. And plus, you gotta remember, like, majority of this nigga's fan base are Jits. Jits see cool shit happen, they fans immediately, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, they're just stupid young bulls, and like I say all the time, they're Jits. They're gonna grow up, realize this nigga's a cornball, responsibilities, yada yada, all that shit. But yeah, again, Logan's rep, just based on him being himself, is already terrible.
There's not much more he could possibly do. He'd probably have to go to Japan and film another dead body.
Ooh, don't know if he can do that. I don't know if they want him back.
That would probably make people hate him more. So pretty dumb argument by Logan, in my opinion.
This, Paul says, was by all appearances a deliberate attempt to advance a false narrative to the federal
What's that false narrative? That you're a scammer? Because I don't know if that's false.
government. Okay, right off the bat, deliberate false accusations to the government come with very serious penalties. So that is a very heavy accusation made by Paul here.
Yeah,
It's a dumb one, if anything, but facts.
apparently everybody is just after Logan Paul. Nobody wants to do legitimate critique. The world revolves around Logan Paul. Everybody's just trying to embarrass him. Dude, get over yourself. You're not that important. And the thing is,
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Like,
he's not even important to Coffee, because apparently Coffee does this stuff all the time. He whistleblows a lot of people to these organizations, and some of them actually end up getting arrested as well. So he's basically the local janitor, just taking the trash out and giving pieces of shit like Logan what they deserve. And don't get me wrong, it takes a long while, but eventually karma does find its way. Now this next part, Logan's lawyers deliver possibly the worst argument ever.
The reason that Findeisen misled the government so brazenly, of course, was that his goal was to prompt the government to investigate and build cases against plaintiffs specifically, whom he had never even spoken to about the project, in order to further harm plaintiff and, he hoped, ultimately claim credit and raise his own profile in the event the investigations resulted in criminal charges or civil penalties against him.
well, I'm already tell you that this is straight up BS, because Coffee definitely tried to reach out to Logan on several occasions. Funny enough, couldn't get through to him. Why? Because Logan wants to act like a fucking Hollywood ass nigga, you know, the ego and shit like that. Or possibly also because he knows he's in the fucking wrong. But to sidebar that, yeah, who Coffeezilla did get in touch with was Jeff, his manager. As y'all see from the other clip, he was talking to Jeff on the phone. Yeah, Logan, what type of bullshittery? Again, bruh. Like covering the shit or whatever for Coffeezilla did extremely well for him, embarrassing your dumb ass. And again, it's not on no malicious tip. It's because 1, you're a scammer, and 2, what do niggas need to embarrass you for? You do it yourself. 3 to that, brother, this is what you got. This is it? Saying that he was doing it for the clout? Bro, a nigga is like deadass exposing you for being a scammer. You stole millions of dollars, bro. And your response back is this nigga is doing it for clout. Well, Logan, I didn't expect anything else.
And basically what he's getting at is Paul claims that Coffeezilla didn't give the government any information about any other bad actors on the Cryptozoo team, like Eddie Ibanez and Jake Greenbaum. And he says that because of that, Coffeezilla was sending the government down this rabbit hole to focus specifically on Logan Paul and to ignore everyone else on the Cryptozoo team.
So real quick, just going over this part again.
Nah, every single one of them niggas need to be investigated. It's not like a shelf. Like the nigga Eddie Ibanez again, that fucking con artist. Yeah, somebody need to be on his ass. The Jake the Crypto King nigga, somebody need to be on his ass. And all together, just like you, Logan, they need to be on all of y'all asses. Y'all are scammers. No one's just focusing. Well, it's like, again, if we're talking about the videos, obviously the videos covered not only Logan but those people too. But yeah, you're the main nigga called out right now because again, you're the face. Like, what are we talking about?
And in order to further harm plaintiff, and he hoped that ultimately he'll claim credit and raise his own profile in the event the investigations resulted in criminal charges or civil penalties against him. So this clown is actually saying that Coffeezilla reported Logan to the government because he wanted to raise his own profile.
Yeah, like he's literally saying the only reason he pursued this shit was for clout, and that's so fucking stupid. Obviously he's pursuing it because he wants justice for the people you scammed, Logan.
If Logan was found guilty and got criminal charges or civil penalties. So Logan's lawyers are basically admitting, like, okay, maybe Logan might be guilty, but Coffee only did this to raise his own reputation and not actually catch Logan in a crime. So they're saying Coffee is not exactly wrong, but his intentions were wrong, apparently.
I'd argue with that. And Coffee isn't wrong. And again, well, however you feel or your opinions on Coffee's intentions can be whatever you think they are, because the only person that's gonna really know him is Coffeezilla. But if I had to give my personal opinion, yeah, I don't think his intentions were just to, oh yeah, I'm finna get some clout off of this shit, we finna be cool, and bro, we gonna take this nigga Logan down. Nah, again, like I said, it's probably just straight for justice, because scammer niggas not so koosh. Like, fuck, bro, Logan, you tried this shit. Embarrassing.
Bro, that is the worst argument I've ever seen. Who
Approved. Agreed. Because exactly, what the hell are we doing?
Who is this guy's lawyer? My God. Put that meme. This
I
is
ain't gonna lie, probably the same lawyer that Johnny Somali got, because we know both them niggas incompetent.
my lawyer. I'm cooked, boys. This is embarrassing. You're literally throwing your own client under the I'm
shit.
cooked, boys. This is
Y'all about to see a back end. This shit is a
Embarrassing.
Hold on, wait. This is a perfect screenshot right here. Y'all gonna see a Trill Talks Everything back end. I ain't gonna cap, because this jump right here is literally perfect. Hold up. Yeah, we gonna snag that real quick. You already know. Anyway.
You're literally throwing your own client under the bus. Now, the person who made this video, Legal Bites, is a lawyer too, right? And she talks about how she didn't even make this video for a long time because she wanted to make sure she got Logan's argument properly, because Logan's side was so stupid that it literally did not make any sense.
But I feel like that's also like, I see it. That's just me. I get, no. Fuck it, I'll say it. Trolling is speculation on his conspiracy theory timing. Now, obviously, we shouldn't be looking at conspiracy and shit like they fact up. But, I feel as though, at least in my opinion, that, like, yo, it's kind of deliberate on Logan's side, because, yeah, if you jumble up, fuck up the, you know, the evidence in the story and all that, how are people going to be able to concisely get through it and go through it so then that, yeah, they could see exactly what the fuck you did, and then you can get your consequences. So I feel like it might be a little intentional on Logan's effort, but, again, conspiracies, theories, doesn't matter. Everyone pretty much knows, yeah, Logan, you did this shit.
And she was so confused.
I may or may not have been sitting on this video a little bit longer than I should have, rather than moving forward to publish it, in part because I've been trying to wrap my mind around this argument. Throughout my career as a litigator, I have often found myself in moments of pause when reading someone else's legal arguments that don't quite click for me. And the dilemma always is, am I just not understanding the other side's argument? Am I maybe clouded by something like bias maybe that's keeping me from seeing the other side clearly? Or does this argument just really suck that bad? But anyway,
Most of the time, it's that.
all of that is to say, I think I've landed in the place that this argument by Logan Paul, where he says that Coffeezilla misled the government and essentially did it for clicks and to claim credit in the event the investigations resulted in criminal charges, is just a really bad argument.
Okay, so let me clarify even more. His argument is completely dog shit. It's completely fucking terrible. Like, and it makes no fucking sense.
Like, I'm sorry, but to me, it just does not make sense. Setting aside the fact that Coffeezilla showed in response that he did, in fact, provide a bunch of information to the
Exactly.
FBI about the entire Cryptozoo team, and that this included information about Jake Greenbaum and Eddie Ibanez. Even if he didn't send that information to those guys, why would the government not look into the activities of the entire team?
Exactly. Like, again, Logan is the figurehead, he's the face, but obviously he's not the only motherfucker that has something to do with this shit. Because Logan, I don't know if y'all knew, is a dumbass. You think he knows how to fucking set up blockchain shit and go through with wallets and shit? Hell fucking no. All he sees is, yo, we could make M's, I bet. Say no more. Fuck it. We don't care if they lose money. We need a bag. Like, bro, what are we talking about? So, of course, they're gonna go after niggas like Eddie Ibanez and Jake the fucking Crypto King, too. What type oh my god. I'm no lawyer, again. That's why we watching the girly pops, you know what I'm saying? And then shout out more Pegasus, obviously, you watching his vid. But, yo, Legal Bites, that's why she explained it. But this just on a base level, like, Logan, this is dumb as hell. Like, what are we doing?
If they suspected that even just one member of the team had maybe defrauded investors.
Logan hired his lawyers off Temu, bro. Dude, can you imagine that your lawyer's argument sounds so incredibly stupid that other lawyers look at it and don't even believe it's real because it just sounds that dumb?
That's when you just need to fully accept that you're gonna lose your fucking case.
Also, the other argument is even more funny. Basically, Logan was saying that Coffee only reported him to the FBI and not his team so that they would only charge Logan with a crime. First off, that is completely brain dead. We literally just saw proof that Coffee reported the other people as well.
Exactly.
And hypothetically, even if he only reported Logan, of course they would be investigating the whole project.
Like I just came off of saying, yeah. You're the figurehead, but you're no fucking genius, so you couldn't set up the back end shit. Somebody else did that, which means they're an accomplice to the shit, which means their ass also needs to be brought to justice.
And every member of the team that was involved, right? Just because you only have information on one person doesn't mean you're trying to exonerate the rest of his team. But I just love how their defense is, no, not I didn't commit the crime. It's Coffee is reporting me for the wrong reasons, and he just wants to get social media likes and not actually put me in prison. How?
For the clout! For the money! Like, yeah, nah, bro. Coffeezilla ain't on that shit, nigga. I know who was, though. Oh!
How pathetic can you actually be, bro? Now, after this, she talks about how Logan is screwed either way because his argument just doesn't make sense. Because the only way Coffee would be able to raise his reputation by reporting Logan to the FBI was if Logan actually was a criminal and there was merit to his case. So basically, if Coffee reported Logan to the FBI and nothing actually came out of it, and Logan is completely innocent, then Coffee's reputation would actually go down.
I'm about to say, where it would just Uno reverse, it would just go bad for Coffeezilla, but this is exactly why he takes time and puts dedication into his videos, make sure he has the right relevant information hitting up the right sources. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. Call it glaze for Coffeezilla. But I'm sorry, he again is the crypto reaper. You know how many niggas he done absolutely ended doing these crypto scams? Yeah, nah. Logan, you did some dumb shit. And now you're getting dumb consequences. Like,
having a false flag, for basically getting the story wrong, right? His reputation would lower. So the only way to actually raise his reputation is being right about Logan.
If Coffeezilla misled the government when he presented a whistleblower claim about Cryptozoo, how would that result in criminal charges? In order to get to the stage of criminal charges or civil penalties that he supposedly wants to be thanked for, according to this argument, there has to be enough legitimacy in Coffeezilla's whistleblower complaint to get to that result. And that would mean that whatever was in Coffeezilla's whistleblower complaint
was like stamped 100% proof evidence, which would be bad, again, like we were just discussing on Logan's part. So it's like, oh yeah, sure, Coffeezilla did this shit maliciously or whatever for the clout, for the money, but Coffeezilla was still right. Logan, you're a fucking scammer. What? This Logan, you still lose either way. That shit is so dumb. Like,
complaint was not misleading the government. And importantly, to the defamation claims ultimately in question here in this case, that would also mean that Coffeezilla reasonably believed that Logan Paul and the others defrauded the public or defrauded their investors with Cryptozoo. To put it another way, for Coffeezilla to receive accolades from the public over Logan Paul getting charged, there has to be fire to all that smoke. So how does that make sense?
Just like Legal Bytes said, there's gotta be some fire to the smoke. That means there's gotta be some truth to what Coffeezilla was saying, even if he, again, like I said, was saying it maliciously. Which, Logan, I don't know if you remembered, is not good. Like, duh.
For Coffeezilla to think, I'm going to mislead the SEC and the FBI into investigating Logan Paul specifically. And then when they do find enough to charge him with federal crimes, I'll accept the congratulations for it.
Yeah, you gotta do some crazy mental gymnastics to come to this conclusion. Apparently, Coffee is just 5,000 IQ here, and
he's playing like 5D chess, bro. He's 2 steps ahead.
He's apparently falsely reporting Logan to the FBI and the SEC, you know, which could definitely be a crime of some sort.
Yeah, because I would be wasting, like, obviously wasting these organizations' time and resources, yeah.
Apparently specifically doing this so that they can find no wrongdoing, and that is somehow going to make Coffeezilla more popular for getting the story wrong in public. Literally makes negative sense. Logan trying to find any way to squirm out of this is just hilarious. Bro, just put the fries in the bag. You're so completely cooked. Now she
Washed.
talks about how Coffee actually reports a lot of these people to these organizations like the FBI and the SEC, and Logan isn't special. He isn't the only one that got reported.
It's public record.
Again, because again, it's Trilly can't grammar. He already know how that goes down. Trilly's a dumbass. Anyway, but this is the John I'm saying. It's not like the only person Coffeezilla has ever covered that's done a crypto scam is Logan Paul. Logan Paul obviously may have been the most successful videos he's made on someone, you know what I'm saying, obviously exposing them for the scams they've been doing. But yo, he's exposed a ton of other people. Remember though, I don't know if some of y'all remember watching on the page, but there was a whole situation with the Argentinian president. I think he might still be president or not. What's his name? What's his name? Malay, it's something Malay, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, there was that whole Libra coin shit. He exposed them for that, John. Like what? And that's on a scale of a president. Logan Paul is a nigga who owns a fucking sports drink. Like, bro, a fucking YouTube nigga. Put some respect on YouTubers and content creators. This shit can change niggas' lives. It obviously changed Logan's. But like, bro, the fuck, like, bro, no. Coffeezilla is just trying to bring shit to justice. He's trying to not see niggas get scammed. I can't. Yo, it's like I can't believe Logan would come out here and do this shit, but at the same time, of fucking course I would. He's a moron.
Record that Coffeezilla has been a whistleblower before and continues to be a whistleblower in other cases after Cryptozoo. Specifically, it's common knowledge that he had a strong hand in blowing open the lid about the FTX fraud. And
I didn't even know that. Like with the whole FTX shit, I didn't even know he was one of the people outing this shit. But you already know, scam Bankman Fried, that old FTX bullshittery. Like, son, if he had a hand to play in this shit too, it's very clear, again, that Coffeezilla, he's just really into the vibe of like, yo, we need to bring these heads to justice, trying to do these scams, and people trying to, like, whether it's scamming through, like, crypto, well, obviously, yeah, through cryptos, that's the main thing. Scamming through, like, you know what I'm saying, like, these meme coins, these fraud coins, or even just whole goddamn, you know what I'm saying, what are they called? Oh, my God. No, the things around the coins. Oh, no, not the blockchains, goddamn. No, it's, yo, watch. I'm telling you, as soon as I hit pause, it always comes to me. What is the name of the actual coins themselves? Like, obviously, they're crypto coins, but, like, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. Behind like, even the, the exchanges. Damn it, I'm so fucking stupid. Behind the crypto exchanges, like how FTX was one, and obviously it was a bullshit one. But, yeah, like, yo, Coffeezilla is on these niggas' asses, bro. This is not just for the clout, the money. Nah, bro, it's for the justice.
That's a big reason why Sam Bankman-Fried was convicted of a number of federal offenses.
No, actually, that didn't happen. Coffee was just trying to get more subscribers on YouTube, of course. He just wanted my clout, of course. His master plan was actually to put Logan in prison so that he could get a free lifetime supply of Lunchly and Prime. Dude, of course.
Gotta like your cheese moldy, bruh.
Logan would think everything is about views. He operates his entire life based on views. Keep in mind, this is the same guy who promoted Lunchly at the birth of his child. You can't even make this shit up.
Yo, that shit was so ridiculous, bro. I remember when the boss was covering that shit.
Bro is just a sociopath. Now, this next part is absolutely brutal. Coffee actually attached evidence of the SEC thanking him for his comprehensive reports on these people that actually led to multiple arrests, right? So he's friendly.
Oh, man. See, we knew it, man. I'm trying to tell you, Coffee was just out to embarrass him, man. It just, he was only after it for the clout and the money, bro. Like, shit is go dumb. But even still that factor, like, yo, Coffeezilla even providing proof that, yo, the SEC was thanking him for the information and the, obviously, you know what I'm saying, the evidence that he was providing. Hey, whatever you try to get off, Logan.
With the SEC and probably the FBI too, bro. Coffee is doing God's work here.
And as Coffeezilla said in a footnote in his response that made me chuckle, to be honest.
Let me see. Paul is not unique. Coffeezilla has routinely provided whistleblower reports to the FBI and SEC in the hopes of stopping cryptocurrency scams. Stamped, as I've been saying the whole time. While not publicized, Coffeezilla's reports have led to multiple arrests and guilty pleas. Seems like he's doing a good job cracking down on these motherfuckers.
honest. Logan Paul isn't special to Coffeezilla. In fact, he says Coffeezilla has routinely provided
Why would he be? Why would he be special to anyone? Like, what?
whistleblower reports to the FBI and
bro.
SEC in the hopes of stopping cryptocurrency scams. While not publicized, Coffeezilla's reports have led to multiple arrests and guilty pleas. And then he attaches some exhibits showing some of his prior correspondence with someone at the SEC who
Here, let me read this whole shit. Put myself right there. All right, anyway. Steven, thank you for the information collected and synthesizing your report. Procedurally, all tips submitted via TCR are reviewed by the Office of Market Intelligence based on a number of factors. If the submits subjects or conduct relate to an ongoing investigation, the information will be forwarded to the relevant case team. I can't guarantee that this will be us in this instance. Personally, I have found your reports in other matters very helpful. So even the SEC again corroborating that Coffeezilla has worked with them before, trying to go through the right, you know what I'm saying, governmental systems. Anyway, I have found your reports in other matters very helpful and well done, and this appears to be from the same mold, so I just wanted to say we appreciate it. Happy to chat anytime. Thanks. And then, obviously, you know what I'm saying, personal info. But yeah, again, I don't know. I'll tell you what, Logan. In my personal opinion, again, call it glaze. But it's seeming to me that Coffeezilla is pretty reputable. I don't think he's trying to do this on malicious actions, more or less just to correct the dumbasses like yourself. But,
told him that his reports in some other unrelated matter that he had sent them were found to be very helpful and well done, and that his report to them on the Cryptozoo matter appears to be from the same mold.
So here we got the message from the government official. Thank you for the information collected and synthesized in your report. Procedurally, all tips submitted are reviewed by the office based on a number of factors. If the subjects or conduct relate to an ongoing investigation, the information will be forwarded to the relevant case team. I can't guarantee that will be us in this instance. Personally, I found your reports in the other matter very helpful and well done, and this appears to be from the same mold. So I just wanted to say we appreciate it. Happy to chat anytime. Logan is gonna lose his mind after saying that. He's like, oh my god, the guy's about to prosecute me. Or
he's gonna be molding so fucking bad, bro. It's like, yeah, man, your rep's still staying good after this one?
Friendly with coffee, bro. And just so you know, this is relevant to Cryptozoo. We have this other segment here. Just wanted to let you know, guys, I submitted a detailed report on Logan's involvement with Cryptozoo. We got the TLDR, the cryptocurrency, NFTs, 23 million YouTube subscribers. We got all of it. The game which sold millions does not work.
Oh yeah, see, I told y'all earlier, it wasn't just a project. It was actually supposed to be a game in which people could make money. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they were making shit.
Can you imagine anything worse to Logan Paul, who does appear low-key obsessed with Coffeezilla, that Coffeezilla doesn't even consider him to be unique in all of this? Like, in the midst of all of this high-stakes...
Yes, because why would he be unique to Coffeezilla? He's just another nigga who's fucking scamming people with crypto. Like, what are we talking about? Meanwhile, again, we all know Logan is on his high horse. He thinks he's that nigga. Now, within all that, again, I can address and recognize that Logan has had many successes. Obviously, within growing a YouTube platform, again, 23 million subscribers. Obviously, one of the most popular YouTubers, especially from back in the day or whatever. He's a billionaire because he's got $1 billion brand, which is Prime. Obviously, he's successful in the pole boxing scene and all that shit. Like, yeah, it's very clear to see. Yo, brother, you got some successes. But as far as I'm concerned with this right here, this scam shit not looking very successful. Bad works.
Litigation, which has the capacity to ruin Coffeezilla financially. Like, this is legitimately a serious matter and, you know, not fun for Coffeezilla, obviously. But in the midst of all of that, Coffeezilla is able to still underhandedly just, like, insult Paul in this way. And the fact that this kind of insult is delivered through a footnote just emphasizes the point that it's not even worth saying in the body of the pleading. Logan Paul just isn't special enough to dedicate that kind of real estate.
That is diabolical. Using a footnote to subtly shit on Logan Paul.
I seen niggas like him before. He really ain't shit.
In a legal setting. Logan just popped a blood vessel reading that. Bro needs to film himself in Japan after this.
That shit probably hit his ego, bro. Oh, never, bro. You know he gonna be crashing.
Absolute destruction. Now, lucky for Logan, one of the organizations did actually close their investigation. It seems the SEC had this investigation deposed, and this was probably due to them simply handing off the investigation to the FBI. And there was a bunch of events going on, like a recent change in the government as well, where different organizations were given different priorities. So don't get it twisted, the FBI investigation is still ongoing, but Logan is taking any opportunity to take a dub here.
The SEC closed out its investigation, which he argues means they found no wrongdoing, and he says that all other federal investigation is basically dormant. And
Let me see. Read this boy. Several years earlier, March 2025, the SEC informed plaintiff that its investigation of Cryptozoo has been closed, having decided to take no action against plaintiff. Any other government investigations, should they even still exist, have been dormant for more than 2 years.
And has gone nowhere, which he says means basically the same thing. No wrongdoing. But Coffeezilla happily goes into detail about what happened with these investigations.
I disagree. So no wrongdoing at all? I'll definitely argue against that.
And obviously has a different take on it. Coffeezilla submits supplemental information to the SEC and FBI to include...
The SEC reaches out to Coffeezilla asking him whether he will speak with the SEC on voluntary basis in connection with this investigation. The SEC issues a formal request for documents regarding Cryptozoo and Dink Doink. Coffeezilla submits supplemental information to the SEC and the FBI, including a more thorough crypto analysis. We have, and then I'm blocking it a little bit, hold on. Paul receives a subpoena to testify regarding Cryptozoo before a grand jury.
A more thorough analysis. And on the same day, Logan Paul receives a subpoena to testify regarding Cryptozoo before a grand jury. And not only that, but the Central District of California issued an amended search warrant for all of Paul's electronic devices for evidence of securities fraud, wire fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy related to Cryptozoo. And it goes on. Then on March 7th, the SEC subpoenaed Paul for information related to Cryptozoo and other alleged crypto scams Paul has been involved with, including
Dink Doink.
Dink Doink. Then on June 10th, 2024, Paul was deposed in the SEC investigation. Specifically, the SEC decides to scale back its crypto enforcement action and issues closing letters to Logan Paul and many others.
Yeah, wait, I've heard this new administration. Oh, yeah. This was the change of governments thing, yeah.
The Justice Department is no longer pursuing some crypto cases that they say are better.
I forgot, what was her name? Who was the previous head of the SEC? Yes. Wait, okay, I don't know how to spell. Yeah, previous chairman. Was it not? We really doing our research here. Does it not show? I guess not. Yeah, okay, well, Google doing me dirt. I guess we can't look for this one.
Left to other agencies. And apparently, the SEC has actually dropped more than a dozen cases against crypto firms since the change in policy. However, Coffeezilla says the FBI investigation remains, and he says...
Oh, I'm blocking it. Hold on, let me see.
They continue to express interest in Paul as recently as early 2025. And he says, as far as he knows, this investigation is ongoing.
Yeah, so basically what Logan...
But that ain't looking like what Logan was saying, like, oh yeah, nah, we're done. It's a done deal. The John got fully deposed. Yeah, it's not looking like it.
Logan is still being investigated by the FBI. He caught a lucky break with the SEC and immediately said, oh, this means I'm innocent, guys. Even though his own lawyers are basically just admitting he's guilty. I honestly do wish these cases would be handled quicker and wouldn't take literal years to resolve. But unfortunately, that's kind of just how the legal system works. You have to be very thorough to make sure only the guilty people get charged, right? And oftentimes, they take a very long time to investigate and then just sort of hit you with all of the charges at once. So Logan is definitely not in the clear in any capacity. In fact, Logan is actually stuck between a rock and a hard place. This next part, she talks about how Logan can't even testify in his own defamation case here because his own words would probably implicate him in the FBI investigation.
Yo, they can't even trust this nigga to talk. He's so fucking stupid. Oh my god. But they're like, yo, he's gonna walk up on the stand with only one brain cell and quite literally directly implicate himself. Not only that, he gonna spill his own beans. Oh my god, bro. That's so sad. Your team can't even trust you to say some junk because they already know you gonna start spilling.
So bro is just cooked either way.
because he is the plaintiff, he's the one that brought this case, Logan Paul kind of has to testify in the defamation trial against Coffeezilla if he's going to be successful. And if the plaintiff doesn't testify at trial, that creates a massive uphill battle for him. And when you look at the scope of what Logan Paul would have to testify about, it absolutely the question of whether he actually defrauded Cryptozoo investors is going to come up. But if he
Of course it is, because that's the main thing being brought to attention, that Logan Paul is a scammer, bro. He stole it. He stole the cheese, or better yet, I guess not him, because he didn't sell his portion of the bag, neither did Jeff. But yeah, he was the figurehead of a huge crypto scam that people lost their money on. I ain't gonna lie, of course that's coming up. Hey, yo, Logan. So about Cryptozoo, do you know where the money went? Because I'll tell you where it isn't at. Not in his pockets. Like, yo.
he does decide to testify in the defamation case, that is a massive risk, because he's opening himself up to questioning that directly implicates potential criminal liability against him. Massive risk. Any lawyer looking at the situation would be waving all the red flags and being like, don't do it. Even if he thinks that he did nothing wrong, there's always a chance.
He could think he could do a lot of shit, bruh, but we gonna keep it to reality, and the reality is, hey, Logan, again, where the fuck is the money?
That he says something that says otherwise to the feds. And on the other hand, if he does invoke his Fifth Amendment rights and he refuses to testify, he protects himself somewhat on the potential federal criminal case front. But like I said before, he makes it that much harder to actually win this civil case.
So basically, Logan is either going to lose the case against Coffeezilla, or he's going to try to defend himself by testifying and then implicate himself to the feds.
So literally lose-lose scenario. Yeah, Logan tends to get himself in these a lot.
Just lovely. Absolutely lovely. Bro's being cooked on both sides like a well-done hamburger. Bro can't even defend himself in court without the FBI sniffing up his cheeks.
Yo, the FBI gonna be sitting in the back of the courtroom on some Men in Black shit. Like this, bro. Yo, that shit had me crying, bro.
But it doesn't end there. He's even more screwed, because if Logan chooses to not testify to avoid saying something that would implicate him to the feds, he's screwed even more, because that means he's afraid of getting caught, which
exactly, because then it goes back to the fact, okay, like, yo, you don't got nothing to say? You hiding something? Like, what's up? Like,
it's obviously a point in favor of Coffee, because that means even Coffee would have reasonably thought that Logan did something wrong.
He also wins if he can show to the jury that at the time that he made these allegedly defamatory statements, Coffeezilla reasonably believed that Logan Paul had actually defrauded the Cryptozoo investors. And if you think about it, if Logan Paul invokes the Fifth Amendment, he is saying that he has a reasonable concern that his statements could incriminate him when talking about the Cryptozoo project.
he should.
And that actually kind of means even Logan Paul is feeling like there's a shadow of possibility that he could get convicted of fraud.
I ain't gonna lie, again, we're gonna have to see if it stamps and it happens, but I'm gonna look at you and tell you, I feel like it's a pretty good chance, because again, who the fuck promoted this Cryptozoo shit? Right.
Which means the jury might look at that.
Better yet, not even, well, he did promote the shit, obviously, because of what I was about to say, which is, who owns this fucking project or game? Right.
And say, so if Logan Paul sees a possibility that he could get convicted of fraud, it's reasonable for Coffeezilla to have thought the same thing. And that would get in the way of Logan Paul being able to prove to the jury that Coffeezilla made these alleged statements with actual malice. And actual malice is an essential element that Logan Paul has to prove in order to win this case. And so that would mean Logan Paul loses the defamation case.
And it was this next part, she talks about how Logan might have only sued Coffee because Coffee reported him to the FBI, and he was really mad about that. Because if you remember, he actually took an entire year to sue him.
And remember, Paul waited well over a year after Coffeezilla came out with his 3-part series before suing him for defamation. He waited long enough that the statute of limitations already passed to be able to sue over those original videos. So he had to find other follow-up statements Coffeezilla made to sue him over those statements instead.
Oh yeah, nah, Logan, you're fucking petty, bro. And you're wasting your time being petty when you could just be, remedying the fuck up that you did. Like, what are we sitting here doing? So that's good to know. So yeah, bro, he literally could not even sue Coffeezilla for defamation or whatever over the original videos. Because, yeah, statutes, past the limitations, unfortunate. Like we're hearing Legal Bites say, again, Logan, what type of petty taxes is these? You going for the lawsuit against Coffeezilla literally did exactly what everyone would expect it to do and make your dumbass look worse. Because, again, not only were you the face of this shit where people got scammed out of their cheese, but now you're also, like, making your rep look even worse because, yo, the guy that's rightfully trying to bring all this shit to justice, you're going after him on some ego tip too, and you're completely in the fucking wrong. Which, a crucifixion to that even more, like I was saying earlier in the John, you get back up on the fucking TikToks, on the short forms, on the YouTube videos, and thank Coffeezilla for his research into your dumbass scam. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
It can definitely make that look like Logan Paul wasn't planning to sue Coffeezilla until he found out that he was a whistleblower and decided to retaliate against him for blowing that whistle.
Right, that makes a lot more sense because apparently we thought that Logan was so mad at Coffee because he exposed him and destroyed his reputation
Yeah, like that's what I thought initially too, but it wasn't even that.
online. But this adds a new element that Logan was really pissy because he
Like, yeah, he was just feeling petty and butthurt as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. And that makes even more sense to me because, again, the narcissist ego nigga mad when somebody shatters his fucking ego makes sense. Like, bro.
outed him to the feds. Definitely seems like something a petty billionaire would do, sue the guy who snitched on him. So here's what people are saying. It's a very hard sell to claim that suing the whistleblower in the criminal investigation of you isn't retaliation.
It directly is, like, statute of limitations, and so you went to go find some other John that he said to sue him over that, and it has like nothing to do with the original videos and the whole, obviously, can't even talk. Obviously, the whole main videos that Coffeezilla dropped surrounding the Cryptozoo situation. My nigga, you're petty. You're doing this shit because your butt hurt. Like, we'll see you later.
Okay, if anything, this makes Coffeezilla look way more badass than he shows himself. Like, he's doing some epic shit behind the scenes. This is brave as hell.
That's what I'm saying. Now, Coffeezilla in the back end keeping it mad P, sitting there like, yeah, the nigga Logan, like I was saying earlier too, swept him up. Like, hey, the nigga thought he was unique. He thought he was cute, and shit wasn't anything. So anyway, we gotta go expose this fucking president. We gotta go get this nigga swept up. He tried to scam the country, like that shit done. Yeah, Coffeezilla, like, you just don't even give a fuck.
The whole phone call about Logan Paul trying to find out what the guy did with the money was all fake. Of course, if you're trying to
Oh yeah, now this has gotta be a whole lot of hullabaloo.
hide the fact that you maybe have defrauded people in some way, you're not gonna just call your business partner and be like, hey, just act like I'm confronting you and you're really sorry about this whole thing. I didn't realize Coffeezilla himself was the whistleblower. I'm genuinely scared for him, honestly. Yeah, you gotta keep an eye out for the Logan Paul hitman. Now click this video so the FBI
Well done, 47.
finally taps Logan in the ass. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
They already know, man. Shout out the Slap King, my glorious king. More Pegasus. They already know. We got Logan Paul just got fucking destroyed. Obviously, if you guys want to watch the OG video without the Trilly yap, because Trilly does indeed yap everything every time, down in the description. First link, share our love, of course, with more Pegasus. Putting in that good work. We do love the daily slaps. And y'all already know what it is. Final opinions and conjecture. Ooh, boy. Woo, boy. Logan, boy. You're still doing dumb shit. But I'm not surprised. I mean, come on. When have you not been doing dumb shit? It's been a perpetual thing. And your fucking patterns of behavior, as I love to talk about, you have made no change. You're still a dumbass to this day, man. It's really been an unfortunate turnout ever since the goddamn Suicide Forest incident. You'll never change. You truly never will. Disappointing. But yo, of course, again, like I said, shout out love with more Pegasus, the Slop King. And I'll be catching y'all on the flip, baby. Peace.